Hello, and thanks for joining today. Today we're going to be diving into how to boost your online reputation to get more sales and revenue for your shop. We all know reviews are key, right? Your online reputation can make or break your business. So I'll be sharing some current insights and strategies to help you think outside the box with the tools that you already have. The goal is to help you take control of your online reputation, spread positive word of mouth, and become the go-to auto repair company in your service area. So this is all part of our grand plan for digital dominance. We tackle one key area at a time throughout the year, from getting your website sorted to boosting your online organic rankings and even diving into paid search and all the other online lead generation opportunities that are out there. This whole digital dominance strategy isn't something that we just dreamed up. It came from a mastermind group of 250 agency owners covering every niche imaginable over a 15-year period. And today, we're zooming in on a super important micro topic, online reviews. Seriously, reviews are crucial for both SEO and getting people to actually convert. From an SEO standpoint, especially concerning Google Maps, strong reviews significantly influence your rankings. Moreover, from a conversion perspective, they cultivate trust, ultimately driving more customers to choose you. So when folks land on your website, what makes them pick you over everyone else? This also ties into your whole marketing game plan because let's be real, no matter if you're doing internet ads, direct mail, billboards, or brand awareness, your customers are going to check you out. A lot of the time, they'll check your online reviews before they even think about calling. Just a few house rules. Please silence your cell phones. Close out of Facebook if it's running in the background. If you're serious about boosting your auto repair business with more and better reviews, the next 30 to 45 minutes could change the game for you. Oh, and don't forget to take plenty of notes. So here's what we'll cover. We'll chat a bit about why, even with the best review tools, you might not be getting the results that you want. There are tons of review gathering programs out there, and shops using a review software platform are 303% more successful in getting reviews than those that don't. But you can have these tools in place and consistently miss out on 5-star reviews. So let's explore why this happens and how software can help you get more and better reviews. Let's talk about how to really nail multi-channel communication. We all tend to lean on email, but honestly, your customers are probably swamped with emails and they don't even care about them. In fact, email has a super low interaction rate, it's around 3%. What we really want to do is reach out via SMS. You think about it, 95% of texts are responded to or at least looked at within 3 minutes. That's powerful. So let's chat about online reviews. They're really a team sport. To nail it, your whole crew needs to be on board. We'll explore how you can weave online reviews and reputation management into your team's everyday culture and why it's super important to acknowledge and respond to every single review. So good, bad, or indifferent, we need reviews because they make us look good and they help with our rankings. But some shop owners aren't really paying attention to their reviews when they come in. They're not acknowledging them in a public space. And a lot of times, we only deal with the negatives. So it's really important to have a strategy in place where we're proactively addressing all reviews, good, bad, and indifferent. So let me quickly tell you a bit about myself and why you might want to hear what I have to say. If you haven't met me, I'm the CEO at Advanced Digital Automotive Group. So my company is a Google certified partner, very important. I have written 2 books, The Ultimate Internet SEO Guide for Automotive Service Businesses, How to Triple Your Sales in Record Time. And then my first book was Triple Your Sales and Grow Your Business, The Ultimate Internet Guide to Growing Your Business Online. That was my first book I wrote a few years ago. So why am I telling you this? Why should you spend 30 to 45 minutes of your day listening to a workshop about reviews? Online reviews and our reputation are super important. They can really make or break a company. If we have a ton of positive reviews, we'll definitely see an increase in profits. Reviews also make all our marketing efforts more effective and make closing jobs much easier. On the flip side, a lack of good reviews can really hurt us. If you've got a high percentage of negative reviews, say with an average of 3 stars or less on platforms like Google, Yelp, Facebook, or whatever, it can really hurt your conversion rate from leads. It's super important. It can literally make or break your company. The other reason is that often our online reputation doesn't truly reflect the excellent quality of service we provide. I know many of you on this webinar take this very seriously. You pour your heart and soul into your shop, into your customer service. You're dedicated to delivering excellent services and growing your business. Often, despite your amazing work, the training that you provide your technicians, and your commitment to going above and beyond, your online reviews don't always reflect that accurately. Sometimes you might be excelling on one platform like Google with a fantastic average star rating, but then Carfax or Facebook might tell a different, less flattering story. This doesn't truly represent the incredible company that you've built. So how do we ensure our online profiles and review sites reflect how amazing your shop truly is? Another significant challenge is that despite investing in excellent reviews tools, many of us still struggle to generate sufficient reviews. There's a plethora of review tools available, but we often mistakenly believe that the tool itself is the solution, right? We can get this cool, fancy tool and that'll handle all of our review requests, and that'll solve all of our problems. No, it's really more than just the tools. Having the right tools, it helps, of course, but so does using them to their full potential. But it goes beyond that. If we can't solve this, our reputation could really hurt all of our other marketing efforts. Your branding can be on point. So here's the deal. You can have a killer marketing strategy, your branding can be on point, and your SEO rankings can be soaring. But if your reputation on any of the big sites is negative, it'll seriously tank everything else. What's even more frustrating is watching your customers head straight to the competition simply because they don't feel like you're the quality operation that they want to do business with. So this gives us a pretty cool opportunity. If we can solve this, we can set ourselves apart from our competition and truly stand out by focusing on our reputation more than our competition does. We want to be obviously the top dog in our service area, totally crushing the competition, right? That's the goal. So when people are searching for our services, we want to be the clear front runner with more reviews, more 5-star ratings, and genuine vibe. Because, let's be real, they're not just counting stars. They're diving into the latest reviews that you have, looking at that real person, real experience, feel. Did the other side of the business even notice? Did they care? Did they interact after that review was posted? I think when you do that, you can really stand out. We've got the tools, and we should use them to their full potential. I believe they're more than enough if we use them consistently. We use them well, go cross-channel, and leverage automation. Soon I'll show you how automation can really boost the number of reviews that you get, which will give your Google rankings a nice bump. Ultimately, we want our reputation to speak for itself. We want it to be clear that we do great work, take care of our customers, and genuinely care about their experience, especially since they took the time to post a review. If we can stand out online, you can become the go-to repair shop in your area and maximize your conversion rates. This means every dollar that you spend in marketing across your entire strategy, it'll go a lot further. And it generates a lot more leads and sales, book jobs. So I'd love to hear from you guys. How many of you feel like, yes, if we can get this dialed in, it would have a pretty massive impact on your results? Give me a yes or just a thumbs up in the chat, and if this sounds great. Just give me a little interaction. Okay, great. A few thumbs up here. Thanks everyone. Appreciate it. So I like to keep it interactive. Make sure you guys aren't asleep at the wheel. So getting great reviews and driving traffic to your website is definitely the first step. But if your website isn't built to turn those visitors into paying customers, then all of your hard work, it goes to waste. Research conducted a couple of years ago indicated that a significant portion, like between 20 and 60%, of website visitors, they don't end up becoming customers. This really kicked off a ton of research into how to get websites to convert better. It turns out that there are 8 to 11 key things that you can do that are psychologically proven to turn more visitors into book jobs. I even did a whole workshop on it, which is actually one of my most popular workshops. If you want the replay link for that workshop, just type in replay link in the chat right now, and Jerome will make sure that you get it. Awesome. Yep. Okay, so do online reviews really matter? The stats say a resounding yes. It turns out that 84% of people trust online reviews as much as they do a personal recommendation. That's a huge shift from years ago when personal recommendations were everything. Now, people are putting just as much faith in what they read on Google, Facebook, Carfax, and other online review sites, just as much. But here's a statistic most of us probably haven't heard. 77% of consumers believe reviews older than 3 months, they're not relevant. So even if you have 550 reviews, if the most recent ones was 6 months ago, that's actually going to hurt your conversion rates. It's not just about getting a ton of reviews. It's about keeping them fresh and consistently getting new ones. If you don't have any recent reviews, people might start wondering if things have changed. If you don't have any recent reviews, people might start wondering if things have changed at your company. Maybe a key technician left or something else is different. Absolutely. Online reviews are mission critical. Okay, let me walk you through this. When someone's looking for, let's say, a European auto repair shop in St. Petersburg, you'll sometimes see local service ads followed by the paid listings. Right now, it looks like there's no one's buying these keywords. If they were, you'd see the ad above the map pack. Only about 6% of people click on ads, but you do definitely want to be there to grab that 6%. Here's the deal. 94% of people head straight to Google Maps or the organic rankings. And before we decide where to go, what's the first thing we do? Check out their reputation. So how good is this company? From a customer's perspective, it's all about how many reviews you have and what they say. I'm sorry, our SEO super dog here is getting a little so here, let me let her down. For example, Mickey's doing great with a 4.8 star rating from 289 reviews, including some recent 5-star ones. To boost conversions even more, he should have someone from his team respond to those reviews, acknowledging and thanking customers for their feedback. It's good to remember that sometimes people search for your auto repair shop by name, specifically since a lot of your business comes from referrals. Other times they might have seen your ad and are looking you up. They'll probably check out your reviews before even giving you a call. We helped the client Man Cave, and they received 197 phone calls directly from Google Maps. This is our monthly lead tracking report. As you can see, we invested a total of $6,612 in SEO, pay-per-click, and marketing management, which generated 1,330 leads at an average cost of $4.97 each. As you know, this isn't typical. The usual cost is around $20 to $30 for a lead, but we wanted to show you what's possible with a properly implemented SEO strategy. Their online presence is super strong, with leads coming from organic, search, paid ads, Google Maps, and web forms. They've racked up an impressive 323 reviews on their listing, and since most of them are really good, they consistently rank number 1 on Google Maps and also in the organic. It's clear those reviews are paying off. Well, let me give you another example. Northwest Collision in St. Petersburg, Florida, they've got 554 reviews. You might wonder, how much do these reviews really affect their call volume and their conversion rates? Does it even matter that much? Well, if you look at their statistics, they invested $4,300 this month in online marketing, mainly SEO. And guess what? Their map listing alone generated 340 phone calls for their business. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments so we can keep this interactive. Why is this important to you? I ask because it helps you think and prioritize, and it also gives me valuable feedback to help things, keep things moving forward. Let's explore key principles to help you really control, manage, and maximize your online reputation. First things first, focus on delivering a world-class experience. I'm kicking off with this because it's not about the tools or the fancy tech. It all begins with that amazing customer experience. It all starts with you training your techs and making sure that they're professionally dressed. We're delivering an awesome customer service experience, and setting the expectation for follow-up is key. So that's the first thing. And this is what you guys do, right? You're all about creating a world-class experience. I won't bore you with a long explanation, but I want you to understand that it's not just about the tools. It's really about the experience. And then second, you need to make reviews and reputation management a part of your company's culture. I consistently see this in the best shops. I've noticed with many of our clients that the ones with the most reviews and momentum aren't just using the right tools, they're also delivering fantastic service. We'll discuss tools and how to use them, but they've made it a part of their culture. That's most important. What I know to be true boils down to two things. First, what you measure always improves, and what you track and measure always gets better. I'd love to hear if you've ever experienced this in your own life. Whatever it is, if you track finances, you gain better control of your budget, make more, and are able to save more. Suppose you start to track your calorie intake. When you start tracking your macros and your weight, you'll gain control over your weight. You'll figure out your ideal weight, and it's 100% true. What you track and measure always gets better. Another thing is you get more of what you celebrate. I don't know if you've explained this, but if you take the time to celebrate things, celebrate success, celebrate wins, you'll attract more of that into your life. Another point, I guess I said two earlier, but there's actually three. The third is that people really want to be recognized by their peers. People totally thrive on competition. There are tons of quotes out there that say that people are more motivated by peer recognition more than money. How many of you have heard that before? There are just proven axioms in the world. Shop owners who get the best results tap into these two powerful things. They track their online reviews, where they came from and which tech generated them, and build them into their meeting rituals. I know some of you have daily huddles, some have weekly, and others have a monthly team gathering. What I've found works best is to bring the team together, acknowledge the positive reviews the company received, and then celebrate them, especially the person that was responsible for bringing them into the shop. When you celebrate positive feedback, you attract more of it into your life. You can even gamify the process a bit. For example, if Billy gets 7 5-star reviews this month, that's awesome. We should definitely celebrate that and give him a shout out in front of his colleagues. I promise if you start doing this, tracking it, acknowledging it, and celebrating it in your company, they're really going to go above and beyond to make sure those customers are happy, and that they'll be so impressed, they'll leave a post, and they'll be so impressed, they'll post a positive 5-star review. When that starts to happen, and it's a part of your company culture, the number of reviews will definitely go up. Your average rating is going to really jump. And that's going to supercharge your company, bringing in more reviews. That's going to supercharge your company, bringing in more revenue and sales, and boosting the return on investment from all of your advertising. Your company will boost its profits, and so will you. Make it a core part of your company's culture. Remember, what gets measured, inspected, and celebrated tends to multiply. Just a good tip, whatever your car count is per month, you should shoot for 10 to 20% of your car count in reviews. That's a really good goal to shoot for. Fourth, we need to use top tier tools after every service, making sure that the communication is across all channels. There's been a shift in this area over the last 5 or even 20 years. It used to be, how do we communicate? Back then, we could only connect through phone calls and direct mail. Think about it. Thank you card after a service, and then a survey request later on. Communication then moved to email, which was a good way to connect with people. People used to check and respond to emails and even do surveys via email. I'm sure you all get tons of emails too. Now, email deliverability and open rates are way down. But guess what's up? Text messaging. Everyone has a cell phone and gets text messages. How many of you have less than 5 unread texts right now on your phones? Businesses are seeing 85% of their bookings come through text messaging. There's been a massive shift to text messaging. So you'll want to leverage tools that send requests after every service call and communicate via email. You do want to do both, but text is the main one. Just so you know, our email response rate is less than 10% now. However, 95% of texts are responded to within 3 minutes or less. So absolutely, we want to be leveraging SMS text messaging. You might think, we've got this review going out, so a thank you card or a tech handing something to the customer isn't really necessary. But don't underestimate those classic tactics. They're very effective for a reason. We've talked about making this a part of your culture. What works well for us is a small review card that your technician is trained to use after every service call. They'll say something like, hey, thanks so much for your business. It was a pleasure serving you today. If you're up to it, we'd love for you to leave us a review. So that card should have a QR code on it, and where the customer can leave the review. If you're willing to take a few minutes to write one, that's awesome. They also have computers that'll do this awesome with an ink pen, so it looks like you're writing. So, you'll get an email and a text message. If you're willing to take a few minutes and write one, that's awesome. You'll get an email and a text message. And if you could go and write a quick review online, it would really help me out. If you mention me by name, my company will know that I did a good job and provided a good experience today. So we give all of our clients a QR code. Your customer just needs to use their phone camera, and it takes them straight to your review platform. This one thing alone will boost the number of reviews you get. We also put that QR code on the bottom in the footer of the websites. So we need to ensure we're making it as easy as possible for customers to leave a review. If they're going to take the time to post it, the process should be simple. They receive a text, they click a button, and they can immediately start typing. So you just want to make sure your tools are thoroughly tested. So test this out. What's your customer's experience like after they do business with you? How do their emails and text messages look? Where does the click take them? Make sure that you're hitting all of these points. In other words, they say, drink your own Kool-Aid. Quite a few programs automatically send out review requests, acting as a buffer to prevent negative reviews from ever reaching the web. Ideally, most of these review programs should be integrated with your CRM. We suggest all of our clients use Steer CRM because it does so many amazing things, not just reviews. And for online scheduling, AutoOps is definitely our top recommendation. Online scheduling is a super important way to turn more website visitors into booked jobs. The fifth and often overlooked step is to acknowledge and respond to every review. Most of us are so focused on the idea of needing reviews, knowing they generate more leads and convert opportunities better, that we sometimes fail to even see them when they arrive. Good, bad, or indifferent, we don't have a way to really track and know if a review happened. But a lot of times we'll see that negative review and then we'll deal with that. So call the customer and try to work it out offline. If that doesn't work, we'll post a professional response. But often what I see getting missed is responding to the positive reviews and thanking them with a personal comment. That can really go a long way in deepening the relationship with that customer. If someone took the time to write a review, let's make sure that we acknowledge them. This is a Google ranking factor, by the way. This really builds a connection. When they get an alert that someone responded, it has a huge psychological impact. And when your customers are reading your reviews, your responses, and they see, 5-star after 5-star, plus the classy move of you acknowledging and thanking them for the review, it just shows that you're a diligent company that cares about the customer experience and appreciates your customers. Let's make sure you respond to every review that you get. Okay, checking in. We've covered a lot of ground. But from those key tips, which one really jumps out or ones jump out at you the most? Which ones do you feel that you need to focus on? Maybe we should weave this more into our company culture. We could even acknowledge our technicians and make it a bit more of a fun challenge. And a really big one is we absolutely need to reply to all reviews. To help me out, thinking about those key areas for recall, reputation control, and driving sales, what resonates with you the most? What do you think you might need to prioritize? Let's make that happen. If you're a multi-shop owner, you can pit the two shops against each other using car count to balance the two. First things first, let's make sure that we're using all the tools available. And at the very least, a review request should go out after every single service. There is a lot of excellent tools available out there for this that also do a lot of other things. We have one that's AutoShop AMP, but we recommend the ones that integrate with your shop management software program. So collecting reviews is just one element of our speed to lead strategy. The shop that connects with the customer first secures the book job 95% of the time. So make sure that your technicians and customer service reps always have a physical card with them and are actively asking customers for reviews. The QR code on the card is a great way to boost your online reviews. So you can, as something tangible that really leaves an impression. You can put that QR code at your front desk. You can put it in the bathrooms. You can put it in a lot of different places. Like I said, we put it on all of our clients' websites in the footer, so a client can just touch it, and it's tactile, and it'll take them straight to their review program. So all these little things add up. And then train your team to mention to customers that your company really thrives on online reviews. So you could see about a 20% jump in reviews each month just by making them a part of your meetings and having your team ask for them after every service. A post-service call to guide clients through the process is also super effective. A lot of shops aren't able to do that, and we're looking at possibly implementing that ourselves. You'll definitely see an increase in the reviews if you make this happen. So a great nudging message would be, hey, I'd love to hear about your experience with the service that you had the other day, and if you recommend us to your friends or family. It's amazing how a small nudge, a small phone call like that can lead to big results. Think about your own busy life, running a business, maybe picking up kids from school, et cetera, et cetera. Just for example, did you get the review link? Can you take a moment to leave the review right now? You always want to ask them if they're going to leave a review, if they would do it right now, if they can. If they're driving or something, of course they can't. Always emphasize the right now. The urgency of the moment creates the pressure in a good way. Most people will think, oh, well, okay, I guess I need to stop what I'm doing and just do this. So if you don't ask, you're not going to get there. And that's your window. They'll either leave the review immediately or they'll give you an excuse. And if they give you an excuse, you've likely lost that review because the chances are they're not going to come back to it later. I'm sure, it's an extra bit of time for you or your office manager or your CSR person, but it really, really pays off in the number of reviews that you'll get. And seriously, make getting reviews and recognition a part of your company vibe. I'll even share some tips on how to make it easy and how to use all sorts of communication methods to get the most reviews possible. I found that using automation had a huge impact on increasing the number of reviews. And the best way to avoid negative reviews is to make sure they don't even make it online. That makes sense, right? That's why most review gathering platforms have a built-in stopgap to prevent negative reviews from ever reaching the web. And if you're not using one of those right now, you need to look into getting one implemented immediately. Some review programs use a smiley face, a straight face, or a frown. And if your customer clicks on that smiley face, they go directly to the review platform of your choice, Google Reviews or whatever, and where they can leave their review and their feedback. If they click on that straight face or the frown, it looks like a review, but it's not. What they fill out in the review box is sent directly to your email, not to the review platform. So like I said, if you don't have one of those in place, be sure that you get one. When you close the job, your system should send out an email and an SMS automatically to your customer. And if they told you everything was fine, but it wasn't, you're about to discover the truth, because if they select the straight face or the frown, you'll know. This is a huge opportunity to simplify your life and significantly increase the number of reviews that you receive. You don't have to book more jobs to get more reviews. You can make a huge impact by using review gathering software, having a company review policy, discussing it in your meetings, offering bonuses and incentives to techs and CSRs who get the most reviews each month or each quarter, and responding to all the reviews right away. And if you're multi-shop, it's a great way to pit one shop against another. Now, I don't want to make it sound like it's an overwhelming task either. Just by tapping into and implementing automation software, you'll consistently see a measurable difference in the number of reviews you get. Just implement a QR code and you'll see over the course of time, you'll definitely see an increase in the number of reviews you get. You want to task someone on your team with responding to all reviews, the good, the bad, and everything in between. So whether it's an existing team member or a new assistant, just make sure someone is monitoring and responding to reviews. Of course, we do that for our clients. That's a part of any good digital marketing growth program. And be sure to have a strategy in place for professionally handling those less than stellar ones. You really need to have, thought through how to respond when you get the one-star review. And it's going to happen no matter how good you are. The bad ones sneak in, right? They might be unhappy with the way that someone answered the phone, or they might be unhappy that your toilet seats aren't heated. Whatever it is, it's going to happen. So you need a plan for handling that. Who's going to reach out to the customer? How will you respond to the review? Keep it professional to maintain control of your online reputation. The interesting thing is that negative reviews can actually turn into positive ones. We all aim for the perfect 5-star reputation, or at least 4.5 plus average. But a 1-star review makes you seem real. It shows that you didn't just buy all your reviews. Someone actually had a negative experience, which is normal because there's people. And when you handle it professionally, it'll totally shift the perception. That could be why someone picks you over the competition. So to give you an example, imagine a dashboard where we can track every single review you get online. It shows your average star rating and where the reviews come from, whether it's Facebook, Yelp, Google, Carfax. As the saying goes, what gets measured gets done. So we need to review this every month. We always set a monthly goal with our clients, and then we partner with them to help them hit their targets. So you'll want to make sure that you have a system in place that makes it super easy to track your progress. We do a reviews report every month. So need a hand with something? Maybe it's tracking, maybe it's figuring out how to respond or dealing with the negative feedback. Or perhaps you just need a bit of help, getting your online reviews posted across all of your social media channels. That's a big plus. Every time you get a positive review, if you leave it on that review channel, it's a waste. You want to get those reviews on all your social media channels. So feel free to reach out to me after this workshop. Don't forget that every review that you get should be posted on all of your social media channels. So we set up 8 social media channels for all of our clients, and we suggest that you do the same. Why? Social media signals are now a much more important SEO ranking factor, especially after Google's helpful content update, which really changed things radically. And that's where their EAT formula came out, which is EEAT. That's Google's new algorithm that you have to satisfy in order to rank well. To get the most out of today's session, we recommend scheduling a discovery call. Many of you will have questions, and we've learned that it's best to ensure we're a good fit before working together. So let's have a quick chat to see if our goals align. It's not a sales call. We'll just chat for a few minutes to see if we're a good fit. So to schedule that discovery call with me or my team, just go to autorepairseo.com/schedule. As you can imagine, we can only take a limited number of these calls each month, so it's kind of first come, first serve. So I sincerely hope you found this valuable. If you have any questions about tools, reputation, strategies, or anything else, please feel free to book a brief discovery call with me. All right, I think that brings us back to where we started. Thanks again for all of your time and the opportunity. Let's really aim to be the best and let our reputation speak for itself, right? And hopefully we'll see you again in a future workshop. I produce one of these every single month on a topic that can benefit your shop. Thank you all for coming and hanging out. Have a great rest of your day.